Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen to this. It was well worth the 25 seconds, let me tell you. Walking on ice, okay? They mentioned, no, don't take the kids to go see Walking the Dinosaurs. Take them to see something on ice. The two items I've been talking about. They said it was about something, a little bit about something. It was a story of about a little bit about something. And then what did they say? Phoenix, 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 Phoenix. I just did a video and then I wrote a whole big 100 or 200 or 300 word essay, and at the end I'm going back to Phoenix because 44 is the flying of the Phoenix, something to do with the crow, and Barack Obama is that crow right now. I don't know what the Phoenix is, but Phoenix is P and H was created by the Hebrews, and the Hebrews is where the Baltic is part of the open nation, where Cairo and everything goes up. The crown of the pharaoh, he had a straight back, but he had an open face, and you see that on all the cards, all the picture cards, okay? He also shows that opening and flat back, maybe because it goes outside the sliver of the passage into the other world. The same thing that happens to this when I open it up. See, we only get to look. It's open, then it's closed. Then it's open, and it's closed. This is basically what our planet looks like. It's like a little ship. I mean, how big are we? 20,000 miles. What's 20,000 miles? They kept mentioning the Phoenix, the Phoenix. There are so many things happening more and more and more and more. I know there's something coming, whatever it is. It could be days, it could be a year away, but it's definitely, for my project says no. The Pontiac car, here's the Venus. Two sides here read the record player, or is it the one side? This is of the beak going to the two brains. This is the 1 point on the record player. Here's the passing of the player. On this side, it reads 2 points, picking up the information from here and reading it down here. And it goes this way and this way and this way and this way. And that's all it can move because it's thinking from side to side. It goes from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, from 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock, from 9 to 11, from 11 to 9. From 9 on this side to 9 on that side, to 11 on this side to 11 on that side, is 2 and 2, is 2, 1 and 2. 2, 1 and 2 equals 100. 100 Fahrenheit is 100 Fahrenheit, 212 Fahrenheit is 100 Celsius, which means 2 and 2, the beta of the 5 dice. Quantum leap, sand pits. I didn't do the silver, I didn't do the spade. These are the worlds. These are the eggs. Okay? These turns around. This is what brings the electric on both sides. Here's your electric on this side, and here's your heart. And then there's another level. I don't know how this works. This I already showed. This and this. This and this. Two sides of the mind. See the way it spreads out to another side, then it all comes back. First it goes to here to here. They weigh it from here to here, comes to here, and comes into here. Same thing for this. There's a few more. I'm going to do it real quick. On your keyboard, this one equals 50, this one equals 20, this one equals 40, equals 110 of the Twin Towers. On the opposite side, this one equals to 31, this one equals to 23 creation. This equals to 15, and P, 16 is 31. This is the sandbox on Mars. This one equals here to 14 and 13, which is the red. Look at it as New Mexico. It's the extraterrestrial because it's EN and EM, NM, MENA. It sounds like the minnow, like the sperm. Maybe 27 is the sperm to life. I don't know. Here's what I'm talking about, Venus, right over here. She moves. Here's the one dot she cannot pass. Here's your middle of your 1. If you want to count this, the middle between 1 and 2 on the clock, it'll say 1.5. Therefore, your 0 hour, which is over here, is 1.5 over here, and that's why the 0 equals to number 15, because it's between 1 and 2, and it doesn't mean any more than 1 and 5, because it's 1.5 standing on the clock at the top. This dot will hit number 6 on the bottom, over here. I just want to look back to see if I had anything else. One other thing, I was talking in the last video about words that go with old, okay? And it's bold, number 2. It's cold, number 3, and it's fold, number 6. 2, 3, and 6 equals 11. It's H for hold is number 19. We now have the moon. We have K, is the number 30. We now have creation. We have M, which is the 13th one, so we have to stop. Okay? We have creation. So we have 3, 5, 11, 19. We have 30. We have 43 when we come to M, and that's Earth and Mars and the sandbox and the prism. And the next one, okay, they don't use Q for cold. They use C for cold. And then they have R for rolled. But rolled is R-O-L-L-E-D, so we can't use this rolled. So the most you're going to have is you get to M, and that's creation. It gets to 30, and then it becomes 36, because it's the spirit of creation, 3 and 6. Or it becomes the totality of 30 equals 3 plus 0 equals 15, equals a total of 18, which the angel resident, the R, that's created out of the letters that are not in the gold. But in the gold, it seems to be that the G in the gold happens to be the needle, okay, or the angle of the needle on the diskette, okay, where it shows over here, 7644. 64 is Earth, man. This is Mars, this is Saturn, this is Uranus. These are the 13 cards, okay? This is Earth and man, this is Israel, this is Zion. This creates your X and X in Roman numerals and the regular alphabet and English alphabet. 60 also represents orange. Orange time of the orange sun, which is the 5 and the 13 ball, which is 18, which is the letter M, which is the E sound. The E is 5, the M is 13. 1, 3, and 5 say ace, the first, third, and fifth letter on the keyboard. First, third, and fifth says cat. 135 degrees on two sides of creation, okay? On this side of the needle and this side of the needle. 135 degrees makes 270, plus the seventh gate is 277. So from January 1st, a birth would take place on April 4th. And they'd have to have a cesarean, so by the 5th or the 6th, it's already done. So the unlucky days in October are the first 5 days, and that's the reason. Which is 39. 39 times 7 cards. 13 cards in a row times 39 weeks of 7 days is 273 days, plus the 4. The 4 corners of the sandbox. The number 5 key, dead center in the hole. We went all the way down the hole in the fire station, but when you got to the bottom of the hole, you're on the bottom floor. So number 50 is in the hole. When you get to the bottom floor, you're on the 6th floor. P6, parking 6. P is the one spirit of 6. You get the one spirit light inside of 6. If you ended up getting P6 again, it'd be 16 plus 6 equals 22, which is the Mars sand trap of the 2 Venus of the body you are in. What a fantastic world we are in. So we used gold in many different dimensia, okay? And we know that Q and C can both say gold, cold in the word gold, but it does not. Now, if we remove high and low, where 13M equals to number 4. Remember I told you the E, it's the sound of that family, it's EM. It's 5 and 13, so the EM makes it automatically 18. The one spirit of H, the A letter and the H, the first 2 letters in the H family, and it's first and last because the 9 survives in 6. Because the 9 happens. The 9th month of September happens in the sand trap. The 30 days of the month of April, June are because of the sand trap of Mars and the needle. The needle of Venus, the sand trap of Mars inside the prism, April, June, September, and November. November because the 2 needles are moving, so it's 30 days in each, which keeps man living. That's why there's 30 days in 4 months. I don't know if I can explain it again, and I practically forgot it, but I understand that if somebody brings it up and we can discuss it together, I'll look for it once more. So we were talking about the letter M, and at the same time, M, 13 and 5 is number 18. 5 and, okay, is 18. If we go to 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus the 5, 45 is the fox, and 54 is the sun. And the color of the ball is orange. There's a stripe and a solid, S and S. One is SO, maybe for soul. The other one is ST for the spirit of time. Time heaven. The Einstein theory. 7 times 4, 7 plus 4 equals 39. 20 and 19. It's also R and U, but that's our corrective and connective station of Nibiru. Okay? They're not living on this. This is Mars, this is Jupiter, this seems like Neptune. That's where it seems like that angle goes. We do the angle, okay? Let me see, this one, Mars, no. We have this one here, we have this one here, we have this one here, and we have this one here. And, okay, here it is. If it was on the keyboard, it's like this. It's flipped upside down. You used Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune. You connected in over here live. You see the way it still makes the Y? Okay, you don't have the X, but this should cross over. Now you have the X. This is part of the 5-point star. You just turn the 5-point star around and it goes in between the floors. Okay, and it always crosses through here like your heart's beating. So we had the gold, and we had the M. I was talking about the sun. Now, M is the 13th letter. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 is 3 and 4. It's the sandbox, and it's the prism of Earth. Earth is not a planet. If it was a planet, it doesn't mean planet that you know that are planets all around. Your body is that planet, or it's your mind, and your mind is the planet of the moon. I don't know which one. It's man on the moon. Which one you want to go? The planet of the apes. A-P-E-S. Again, we were talking about which letters. We were talking about, yes, E and M is 18. In French, they say 18. Number 17 in French, okay, which is the light, the one spirit of the light, that's 17. And 19, the moon, is 19. They don't say 10 for anything else unless it's a regular 10, okay? The only time they say it is 17, 18, 19. The French say 10, 10, 10. They say 10 for 10, 10 for 17, 10 for 18, 10 for 19, 10, 20, 30, 40. They say 40. Then they say it again at 79. So they say 80. Then they say it again at 99. Now you got 120. 1, 2, and what? A 6. Because you're in the dog pounds. Because the 0 at 120, because the 0 is there, it now has to have a decimal on it because it's on the other side. It's the spirit angel of the dog pound. The 1 on the left, the 0 on the right, the 26, which is the dog house in the center. Gold, silver is number 85. Silver is 85. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 plus 8 is 13. 5 times 5. This is right next to each other in the roulette and on your telephone. One is the electronic. The next one is what picks up from Venus. This is 4 times Venus, the 8. And the 11 says because it's 1 and 1, it connects to the moon. But 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 8 is time heaven. This is the electronics, equals 53. This happens to be up by Hoover Dam. And when you go to number 5 inside of itself, 5 times 5 is 25, 5 plus 5 is 10, you have 35. It's the same thing. Because you're in the same area. One is the electronic 100%, 35. The other one is because you're in the 8th part of Neptune. Your mind is connected to the rest of the moons. On this side, 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7. G, J, and G. This becomes number 7 over here. This becomes 8. And this becomes 7. Number 52 is Earth, saying I am connected to 8 and 7. I am connected to the 8 card and the 7 card. The 8 card with the 2 moons, which is the sandbox of Mars, and the 1 card with the 1 moon, which is number 7, the 1 spirit of 7, which is the light. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7, says Venus and Jupiter light. Venus and Jupiter create the numbers for Earth. 17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 7 is 15. Now you have A and E. The A world and the angel world in the electronic world. 1 times the A and E, 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to your 11. Now you've connected to the electronic to the moon between 5 and 6 because 5 and 6, 5 and 4 connect together, and then 5 and 6 connect together. The only difference between 5 and 4 and 5 and 6, one is looking left and one is looking right. But they connect together, and what they look like is 2 Ks. And the 2 Ks make your V and your V. Here's your 5511 for the center. 5 by 11 is 55. Remember I told you if man only comes into the world at every 5 years, the electronic, so that after 11 years he'd be 55 years old. This becomes the passage. This is a V over here on one side. This is the V on the other side. If the totality of V a big V and a small v. We're not going to get into that. So the silver is number 85. Matrix is number 85. V means the green. So if it's the green, it means the flag is in the middle of the pole. The pole is in the middle of the hole, which the hole is in the middle of the heart of the green. The green is Venus. Why? Because this is Venus. Both sides. Both sides. No, it's both sides. This is on the green, right? This is around the hole, and this is on the outside of the hole. AD. Yeah, it's just incredible how much they're talking about, And then I started hearing again, I'm seeing it again. I saw Colorado again and again. There's electricity. I don't know which mountain it is, but there's some kind of radioactive mountain. I don't know where the mountains are. They're radioactive, and the way they do it is they make the skinny can. They make it one of two ways, the skinny can. I'm going to design it and show you. Either it's this way, and it shows two mountains, and it could be a river. Or it can just be one mountain, where it's a skinny mountain. Or this would be Hoover Dam. These would be two mountains. It's a little bit lower, so the reactors will be stable, and your two reactors are here. And here's your passageway, just like the Twin Towers under the ground. Well, the Twin Towers, over the ground. Now these are the Twin Towers under the ground. These are nuclear reactors in some spots. I don't know where they are, but I just heard this lady named Rice or something on the radio, something next to Obama. And she just kept saying, well, now the Syrians are doing this, and now these people are doing this, and now these people are doing this. Really and truthfully, I'd like to go see it by myself, because I haven't seen anybody. I don't think anybody would have ever built protection if it weren't for those who provoked it. Oh, and they're giving away their nuclear reactors, and they're correcting everything. Something's coming, and I'm going to tell you it's in less than a year. I don't care if I'm close to whatever it is. It's either going to contain things to do with trains. It's going to have something to do with a black sky. You're going to have to think of the Hoover Dam. You're going to have to think of Lake Mead. You're going to have to think about the Great Lakes. You're going to have to think about Niagara Falls. And you're going to have to think about the Quebec and north of Quebec and the wherever those hydro things are. Something over there. And these places have to be protected, but they cannot be protected with anybody but by Canadian forces, because that's the way I have to look at it. At the same time, we can call these the lemons. Why are they the lemons? What does nuclear reactor make you do? What color do you turn a nuclear reactor? What color does it become? So if these were the lemons on the top, that's the trophy. No one's able to tell the difference between what's coming out of the smokestacks or not. There's so much. We didn't do the club. We did silver, right? So silver is 85. Now, if you want to know what else, number one in the one family in the gematria tree, which runs this whole earth, through the roulette wheel in which was created by one of them, 1, 10, 19 and 28 equal 58. TWO, in which woman WO isn't TWO, because it's the transmission between the two, in which T is 20, because the center square of where X fits of X and Y is 5, 5, 5, and 5 crossover, giving it 5, 5, 5, 5 crossover is 20, and going back the other way makes it 40, but 20 is the half. 10 and 10, because there's only two worlds. And there's a $50 bill, which is the passage. But when you come to Monopoly money, not Monopoly money, when you come to Roman numerals, there's only an X5 on one side and X5 on the other side. X, if you really look at it, once you put a cover, okay, on top of an X, it turns into an hourglass, or it turns into an 8. So that's when you know the hourglass of 8 is completely upside down. Hourglass should say 5. The 1 is in the middle, you miss the two sides, and 4 and 4. Why do I say that? Because the only two numbers that are 8 apart is between 1 and 9. Excuse me, there's 7 apart. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 apart, and it starts at 2 and ends at 8. It starts at 2 and ends at 8. M-A-N. Woman is 38, 48, 58, 66. 66 plus 1, woman becomes the spirit of 76. Always add 1 because you start at go. Go and grow old. If you go, then you go to the life of the sandpits of Mars, LD. L is 3, D is 4. I must have made a mistake over here. L is D, LSD. L is 3, D is 4. I have to change this now. Doesn't make any difference, but now it makes even more sense. Gold, the size of the moon, 3476 is the diameter of the moon. 1357 is on the same angle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is on the same angle. One plus 4 is 5, plus 4 is 9, 44. 1, 3, 3, 7, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. 4 and 6 is 5 and 5, becomes 5, 5, and 5, the average. 4, 5, and 6, 3, 5, and 7. And the number I showed you are the same numbers as gold, which means the moon is gold. The moon is gold. 3 and 7 is 10, 4 and 6 is 10. 3 and 6 is 9, 4 and 7 is 11. You've got gold and 9, 11 all over the moon, because the moon got to be controlling everything, because the moon knows the news, because the moon is causing the news. The moon is causing the news. Raphael 7286 on a constellation of Pegasus. Should I leave it here? The silver is 58 and 58. The crisscross of 1 to 8 is 2 and 8. 2 and 8, okay, is also the 7 times 4, which is the Einstein theory. 7 and 4 is the doghouse. 24 times 74 is 1776. 7 plus 4, 7 times 4 equals 28, which is EIN, plus 11 equals 39 equals STEIN, Einstein. But EIN of Einstein is actually saying I and I. I and I of Einstein. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that in the roulette board, 28 and 29 are next to each other. 28 is in the one position black. 28 is in the one position black. And next to it is 29. It equals 57. Taking over for Mercury and Venus. Taking over for Mercury and Venus, we have Venus and Neptune. Like I said, Venus and Neptune is the man in the head. Okay? And it's the same thing that I showed you over here. The greatest distance between 1 and 9 is 2 and 8. And it becomes man. And then it rehappens over here. And this is February 29th. Okay? I wanted to tell you something between counting from October 4th count October 4th to February 14th. Count February 14th to October 4th. Count January 1st to May 1st. Count May 1st, count January 1st, back 122 days. I need to know what they are. October 4th plus 122 days. February 14th equals 133 days. Okay, so we did this. This has to do with the pregnancy at the end of February. This equals to the moon, 57. This is next year. 5 by 7 is 35. Do you remember the 35 we just worked with? 3 and 5 is 8. 1 and 7 is 8. 8 is the queen. 2 and 6 is the dog pound. It is 12. It creates the T, which is the connection between the two. Somehow they join the two moon Mars with the Earth moon, and they infiltrate both of it, or they're just controlling everything on this planet other than, I'm not quite sure right now. So these two come together. Below this, 29, is the dog pound. This, and this all connect together. And below over here is the 30 of creation. This 0 becomes 6, but this becomes 3, this becomes 1, this becomes 8, 1, 2, 3. 8 with 1, 2, 3 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. The electronics are all hooked up. This is where ISON comes in, right over here. This is the moon. The opposition of this says Michael Jordan, and we know he was flying for the universe. Michael Jordan was over here 10 and 13. JM, Jem McDonald. JM is number 23. Creation of 11. On the other side, it's 8 and 11, which shows the moon. and the moon in the universe. Okay, and Michael Jordan played with the moon in his hand all the time. He was always throwing the moon through the hoops. So when you play basketball, you have 1 point for Earth Moon. Earth Moon, 1 point equals extra point throw. And then 2 points for Mars. Mars is the sandbox. You see, now I'm going to have to re-say something. I keep saying Mars is the sandbox, but if Mars is the sandbox, because Mars is 4, then the 2 needles become from Venus. And that's why we have on Rubik's Cube, when you turn 4 sides here, you have 2 that don't go anywhere. So that's the 4 and the 2. And the cow has 4 mamelins, 4 tits, and she chews her cud twice, so not to forget that. And number 24 is the cat who lives inside he has a little hat on, in fact. The cat has a little hat on because he has to. If he's the needle that turns all around and scratches all the time, burying his shit inside your brain, and your brain turns gray and it goes out your ass after. Do you follow me? Does it make any sense? And it's a dog pound because he can't get out of there. So the 2 points, it's the 2 points of it's the 2 points of the needles. Arizona Needles. In Arizona or in California, there's a place called Needles. Okay? So Needles would be Venus. I'm just thinking now. And the sandbox itself, the empty box, so far there's the sand or the litter. You have a litter? Well, maybe it's all the litter. Maybe it's all the sand is alive. The sand is alive in the sandbox. So it's the sand and the litter and the needles. So it'd be 4. Now there's the 3-point play. Then there's the 2 points plus 1 point. Then there's the 2 points plus 2 points. Then there's the 3 points plus 1 point. These are all the plays in basketball. So this is something to do with how our moon works in our head. We're not going to talk about the light of the 1 spirit of 6 because that comes from football. And we're not going to talk about the hockey puck because that comes from the disc. I got no teeth. It comes from the disc, the puck in the mouth, got no teeth. What are the teeth doing in your mouth? So now we connected the top part of uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. I thought it made my video go away. Okay, so now we have Arizona iced tea, because before they come in and go out for that, they have Arizona iced tea. What else is there? Can we say the wolf came to the first house, but it was made out of straw? The wolf came to the second house, but it was made out of what? Then he came to the third house, and it was made out of stone. The third house was made out of stone. Why? Because we're in the Stone Age. It was made out of bricks because we're in the Stone Age right now. We're no more in the Stone Age. Anyways, because of the song that came on TV, I bought this color. I'm in love with my colors. I'm in love with all art and design. My name is Raphael7286. I do not have a web page. My name is Mr. Tackpans on Google. You can usually find it through there. You can probably find my Facebook through Ronald. Actually, I'd rather you find it through Facebook because I just don't want everybody. I've had some people come on and do some stupid things. Number 29, number 28. All these, there's so many things in French and English and Spanish and German, and because of the languages, I'd love to be able to sit down next to somebody, and the minute I go to sleep, I know there's somebody in front of me still making the project go. I don't want it to sleep. There's too much. We're coming down near the end, but we won't be able to finish it yet. We have to come into the new world. People have to learn what psychology is all about, through the spirit world and not through any other world, but the new spirit world, and how everything works through truth and understanding and what trust is all about. And then slowly we can learn through that there really is another world and a God. And that still might take 3 or 4 more years for that to happen. Okay? But in the meantime, there's going to be somebody new that's going to help run this entire planet so we no longer run in the old world. There will be multi-levels in this world, okay, for the initiation, but it's a completely new world. October, 277th day, October 4th. 77 days, 88 days to the new year, 78 days in a leap year. The 2 moons in a leap year, or to the 1 moon of the 7th gate. 7th gate, 7th gate, 7th gate, 21. The next year he gets an 8, is 29. Here's your 29, the Venus world of the 9 birth of Pluto. Here I am, Pluto. We are all Pluto machines. For time is for later, but Pluto has been taken away. They put up some other planet in the place of Pluto for the up-and-coming new world. And it won't make a difference to us because we'll think it disappeared. But the reality is because there's a new gene coming into the world, and they're going to be misrepresenting the next, let's say, beta blockers, which won't let you see the reality in this world. So the new moon is coming out, and in this moon, if we're marked, every single satellite up there will know where you are 24 hours a day. They'll know every single movement you've ever made from that day on. They'll know everything you spoke and everything you ate. Only because of your thinking vibration, saying to yourself in your own mind, I don't feel good in your own mind, the computer hears that. Because if I think I don't feel good, you have to think it in your mind to know it. That's why all these psychological things are happening to everybody. The psychics is because we say it to ourselves. And then it happens because we make it happen. Raphael 7286, I wanted to show you one more thing. This would sit on top of this, that scratches over these 2 sides, 7 and 7. Or it's an instrument that comes down to here, and this, okay, just do this. They're always on it, they do this. But this instrument over here spins and picks up the information from 2 sides. I'm not really sure which way it works. And then again, it can work this way. See this M&M? Mom, M-O-M, Wow, M-O-W. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching.